in the heart of the western desert of the Arabian Peninsula, and in a remote area amid giant mountains and rock formations, stand the ruins of a mysterious city, like a silent witness to a vanished civilization and souls trapped inside the stone. A city said to have been the home of one of God's prophets, and whose people were condemned to divine punishment when they disbelieved and spread corruption on earth. Today, we're heading to a place called Mada'in Shuayb, one of the oldest and most mysterious archaeological sites in Saudi Arabia. But behind the architectural beauty and the carvings in the mountains, there's a much older and deeper story. A story that blends religion, legend, and historical facts. Let's begin the journey. Mada'in Shuayb is located in Al-Bid Governorate in the northwest of the kingdom, near the Jordanian border. This place has been known for a long time, but it hasn't received its due attention in the media or even in tourism, even though many people say this site might actually be the city where the prophet Shuayb lived, as mentioned in the Holy Quran. But let's take a step back. Thousands of years back in time, before Islam and even before Moses, peace be upon him, a time when civilizations rose and fell, and nations appeared and disappeared. The people who lived in this area followed a pagan religion, and they were wealthy merchants. Their trade route connected the south of the peninsula with the north, and that made the area rich and full of activity. But, as always happens, corruption came with wealth. It is said that these people used to cheat in measurement, defraud in weighing, and rob travelers. And here came the prophet Shuayb, calling them to monotheism, justice, and fairness, and forbidding them from wrongdoing, but they did not listen. They mocked him, accused him of madness, and threatened to expel him, until the day came when God sent down punishment upon them. A scream, or an earthquake, or a cloud of fire. The accounts differ, but the result was the same. The city was destroyed, and its walls were frozen in place, as if trapped in a moment of terror. Today, as you walk through the passages of Mada'in Shuayb, you feel something strange, an unnatural stillness. Inscriptions carved into the rock with astonishing precision. Tombs carved into the mountains, entire structures carved by human hands. But no sign of life, as if the place was emptied of people and left only as a memory. The most eye-catching feature of Mada'in Shuayb is the tombs. Not just ordinary tombs. No, these are tombs carved directly into the mountain, with intricate engravings and sculpted columns, as if the one who made them was a genius engineer with advanced tools. But from thousands of years ago, the question here is, how did such a seemingly simple civilization manage to carve mountains as if done with lasers? And some people ask another question, were these tombs really graves? Or did they serve another purpose? Maybe temples? Or homes for high priests? There are many theories, each stranger than the last. The mountains around Mada'in Shuayb are dark red in color, and the wind is always still, as if nature itself has decided to remain silent in the presence of this place. Many visitors say they felt something unusual, something like energy. They can't describe it, but it makes them feel that this place is not ordinary, not natural. Local stories tell of people who went to Mada'in Shuayb at night and spoke of hearing sounds among the rocks. Some say they heard footsteps. Others say they saw lights coming from the mountain. Of course, some say that the tortured souls are still there, trapped, unable to leave. But away from legends, let's return to the facts. The area has been registered as part of Saudi Arabia's national heritage, and archaeological studies have revealed that the site was influenced by civilizations such as the Nabateans, the Lihyanites, and even the Romans. Some of the inscriptions on the walls are Nabatean, and some are in ancient South Arabian, which gives us evidence that the place was a major cultural center, not just an abandoned village. And yet, there's still an unexplained part. Who exactly built the place? Were they truly the people of Shuayb? Or was it another civilization that came later and used the same tombs? And more importantly, why was it suddenly abandoned? Why did everything vanish, as if time stopped? And there's also the issue of the carvings themselves. How did a desert society, with primitive tools, manage to carve with such geometric precision? Some modern theories suggest that lost technology once existed. Civilizations that reached advanced knowledge and then vanished. Like the pyramids and like Machu Picchu in Peru. Was Mada'in Shuayb part of those lost civilizations? Or just a historical coincidence? But let's return to the Quran. The prophet Shuayb was mentioned in multiple places, and it is said he was the orator of the prophets. He had eloquent speech, spoke with reason, and called for mercy and justice. But his people rejected him, disbelieved, and became arrogant. So the punishment came. So the earthquake seized them, and they became lifeless bodies in their homes. This is the verse many believe describes what happened in Mada'in Shuayb, the earthquake or the torment that befell the people, and froze them in place. That's why many people fear getting close to the place or spending the night there. As you walk through the narrow paths, you'll notice something strange. All the tombs are similar in structure, but different in details. Some have columns, some have carved decorations above the doors, and some have indecipherable inscriptions, as if written in a lost language or magical symbols, or perhaps ancient religious icons. And there's a very strange carving in one of the chambers. A large circle with a star-like shape inside, and underneath it are vertical lines. Some say it's just decoration. But some researchers believe that this symbol has to do with an astronomical calendar, a map, or even a magical symbol. And that opens the door to even stranger theories. Some say Mada'in Shuayb wasn't just a city, but a spiritual center or a gateway to another world. The surrounding mountains look like a fortress, and the entire place is carved as if the people who built it were fleeing from something, or protecting a great secret. And there's also a rumor that inside one of the mountain caves, there's an iron door, which no one is allowed to approach. A door that's been locked for hundreds of years. And everyone who tried to open it either disappeared or fell ill in a strange way. Are these just rumors? Or is there really a buried secret? No one knows. One striking feature is that the site is always quiet, as if time has stopped there. Few birds, few animals, even the wind sounds faint. And all of this makes visitors feel like they're entering another world, not just an archaeological site. But the real question, is Mada'in Shuayb truly the city where the prophet Shuayb and his people lived? Or is it just a coincidence of names? Scholars are not in agreement. Some believe that Mada'in Shuayb in Tabuk is indeed the home of the people of Madyan mentioned in the Quran. But others argue that it's merely a Nabatean settlement that came hundreds of years later, and that the people of Madyan were located elsewhere, maybe in southern Jordan or northern Hijaz. But the truth is, the site holds all the qualities of the city described in holy books: a significant trade hub, a wealthy civilization, a corrupt society, and a terrible divine punishment. All the elements are there. And while the evidence isn't conclusive, it's abundant. And if this really was the city that was punished, why did God allow its ruins to remain until today? Why does this place still stand among the mountains, carved into stone? Maybe to be a witness, a lesson for people. And those who wronged continue to be in doubt about it until the hour comes upon them suddenly. Time passes. Civilizations rise and fall. But the ruins they leave behind speak for them. And Mada'in Shuayb is not just an archaeological site, nor just carved mountains. It's a story. A story of people, frozen in history, recorded in the Quran. Today, Mada'in Shuayb is no longer an abandoned place like before. Saudi Arabia has begun to pay attention to the site, considering it one of the most important landmarks in the Tabuk region. There's now a paved road leading to it, and visitors come from all over the world. People interested in history, people seeking reflection, and others searching for answers. But what's strange is that despite all the progress, there's still a sense of awe surrounding the place. It's not like any tourist site. When people visit, they walk quietly, as if attending an ancient funeral. There's respect for the place and a deep-seated fear within it. Travelers and archaeologists have visited Mada'in Shuayb long ago, even before Saudi Arabia was unified. Among them was the English explorer Charles Doughty, who described the site in his memoirs and said he felt like he was standing in a place frozen in time. There was also the researcher Gertrude Bell, who visited it in the early 20th century, described the engravings in detail, and said the site must be studied more thoroughly. Yet despite all this, studies on Mada'in Shuayb remain few, and many stop at speculation. Is it fear? Or respect for a sacred place? Or perhaps there truly are secrets we're not allowed to uncover? In modern times, Mada'in Shuayb became part of the Discover Saudi campaign, and people from all nationalities now visit the site. But you'll always find the same remark on visitors' faces. This is not a normal place. Some people say they had strange dreams after visiting. Others say they felt an indescribable awe while inside the chambers. And some returned again to the place, as if drawn to it. Not just as a historical site, but as an inner calling. Mada'in Shuayb is not just the remains of a city. It's a mirror, showing us the natural end of any civilization that forgot justice and built its glory on the oppression of others. And what makes the story truly terrifying is that history always repeats itself. What happened to the people of Shuayb can happen to others, and punishment doesn't have to come as an earthquake or fire. It could come in the form of forgetfulness, disappearance, or internal collapse. The mountains still stand. The carvings still exist. But the voices are gone. And the place remains a witness. Every spot in Mada'in Shuayb tells a story. Every corner makes us feel that we're facing something greater than just ruins. We're facing a memory, a message from the past, telling us, learn, before you become like them. Every step we took inside Mada'in Shuayb was not just in a place. It was as if we were walking through time. A place carved into memory, into history, and into the soul. And yet, there are still things we don't understand and secrets yet to be revealed. Why do great civilizations suddenly collapse? Why do places once full of life turn into silence? Do humans repeat the same mistakes? Or does fate repeat the same lessons in different forms? The people of Shuayb, like other nations, the mud, the pharaohs, the Romans, all built their civilizations on power, pride, and wealth. And all vanished, leaving behind ruins that scream in our faces, be warned. Mada'in Shuayb reminds us that civilization is not just architecture and buildings, but morals. And that survival is not for the strongest, but for the most just. Today, the world is full of new civilizations. Skyscrapers, technology, economy, markets. But are we learning from the past? Or are we walking the same path, just with modern tools? Mada'in Shuayb tells us that wealth is not permanent, and that injustice leads to an end, even if delayed. And at the end of the journey, we can say that Mada'in Shuayb is not just a place. It's a message. A message from the past, for today and for tomorrow. A message that says, those who don't learn from history will have history written about them, but from the other side. If you enjoyed the journey, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any upcoming episodes from our journey deep into history. This was Ismail from the heart of Mada'in Shuayb. Peace.